All right. So Jennifer arrives. Let's talk a little bit about Jennifer. So Jennifer arrives. What was your thoughts on the side Jennifer picked? It seemed like in the beginning she was gonna possibly come over to you and Lauren, but then they got her drunk and then the whole her knocking out your picture situation. What was your thoughts on
I
Jennifer?
forgot she did that. Fucking bitch.
Oh, she was a drunk hot mess that night.
Dude, she totally was. And I remember coming down and being like, tell me how you really feel. It was like a pretty wall and that was broken. It's like, what the
Right.
yeah. My first thought was, oh my God, like she's really orange. And I felt so bad. Like I feel badly saying that now. And like, I'm sorry, Jen, but that was my first thought. And I was like, she's gotta be from New Jersey. Like that was literally what my thought was. And then as soon as like I heard her talking, I was like, oh, that is. And then I was wondering if production purposely sent her in because she was from New Jersey. And then when they sent Wilma in, I was like, she's also from New Jersey. I knew it was intended. Like in that moment, I was like, yes. I didn't know. Again, I kind of got Ashley vibes from her. Same thing. Like, I'm sorry, Kori vibes from her, where it was more of like super girly girl, just like super blonde, very like that way. Um, and just in her divalicious mode of her life. And so I didn't think that we'd get along swimmingly just because of that.
Right. So was it really a Fucci?
I don't know, man. I couldn't even tell you.
Y'all were just being mean. Y'all were horrible. Y'all walking around with that bag.
Bro, that was like a CVS bag. It was like a Walgreens. We put tape on it and it was like Gucci. I
I
forgot.
was like, y'all were something else. I loved when Wilma came and she was with y'all. Like, I
Yeah,
really wish the three of y'all could have thugged it out.
for sure.
Um, so let's talk a little bit about the three girls who did Playboy. What was your thoughts of them doing Playboy? And did you really feel like Ashley was the better looking of the three? Because it was a scene of you going up to Ashley and telling her she's gonna get it.
Yeah, I thought for what they were looking for, I think that Ashley was more exotic looking. And I wasn't lying about that. Um,
Beautiful woman.
yeah, no, I wouldn't say that she was like, I wouldn't say that the other girls were uglier than Ashley. Ashley just looked more unique and had more of of that natural doll like movement without having to try so hard. And I could see the attraction for sure. It's so crazy to think though, like, bro, 21 and like Playboy. You know what I mean? Like it's just great. Like, what?
Would you have done it if approached? Would you have done it? Because Nikki, I gotta tell you, Nikki, you're married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were getting the guys, and I love how they were hating on you, but Nikki, you were a guy magnet. They was feeling you.
Like, listen, people, nobody brought anybody home the whole fucking season except for me. I was like, what's wrong with you?
The
Like,
grandmas.
you're on the Bagels Club. Go out and have fun. Like, I don't know. And again, I'm not saying that you have to sleep with somebody to have fun, but like, we're in a house with 7 women. Please go and talk to men. Go to talk to other men. Like, we're out of the house for 3, 4 hours a night. Please give us some other energy.
Right.
So I think it was more of just like, because a lot of the guys that we talked to and stuff were like more of like the bros, and just it was nice to talk to other people that were not girly girl females all the time.
Right. Okay, so we see you ladies go on the radio. There's a scene of Kori thanking you all for acting right on the radio. Shar had an issue with that. Talk a little bit about that. At that time, it was you and Lauren versus the others. Did you feel like Kori was being genuine? Did you feel like Kori was showing her like independence? Like, okay, I don't need Shar to tell me what to do. I can do my own thing. How did you feel about that?
A combination of both for sure. Um, of course, we're not going to ruin like a professional opportunity. Like I'll fuck with you at home, but I don't need to be rude like in a public setting. Like the loudest person in the room is the weakest, you know? So if we're in a public setting and that's like what's going on, please. But no, I think definitely Char was upset because it led to her thinking that she had, you know, it's bad. You know, in the Wizard of Oz when he's like, "If I only had a brain," like the song, like that's what I think she was thinking of when she was speaking. Um, but no, it's just it's too little, too late. You know, at that point, she realized, like, you know, they knew.
Yeah. So I mean, would you and Kori speak in the house? Like, yeah, what was the beef
We
outside of the clutch? Like,
we
what?
didn't I didn't have any like I didn't talk to anybody unless I was like spoken to or we were like in an actual disagreement and I was like yelling at you or whatever. I'd walk into the room, do my thing, leave the room. Like I was preoccupied in my own head, you know. I'm still the same way. Like I don't need to have my space filled with noise and people talking 24/7 and like hanging out with friends all the time. Like I like my home space, clearly.
Right.
Like, you know. But yeah, you know, I'm not gonna be mean to somebody. It's far more energetically draining to hold a grudge and be nasty than it is to just be like, is this yours? Okay.
So the night Kori and Ashley fought, did you go out with the girls? Did you know what happened out?
I was out with the girls. I was not at the house.
Okay. Oh,
I
y'all
came
went
back.
out separately from
Yes.
Ashley,
Yeah.
Kori, and Shar.
Yes.
Because there was a situation with a guy with stanky breath, and this caused all this scuffle between those two.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all because I wasn't there. I only remember from what I saw on the replay, I think.
But you were present for the fight. You were standing right there.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So what were your thoughts about the fight?
I stood by the stairs. I just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to go down the stairs.
Mhm.
Um, it was gonna happen.
It
It
just seemed like they had this rivalry over who's the better looking. That it's like
100%.
Corey just accept his Ashley.
Literally, like you guys could have been friends together. Like you don't need like and that was actually one of my first experiences in life and like really seeing like jealousy like in person. And I'm like, again, I came from sports. Like we don't sure we could be like mad this person's faster or this whatever. And if you're mad about it, you can just become a better player or whatever you're playing. Like it's okay. Let the action speak. But in a situation where it was just straight up like beauty pageant vibes, it was crazy to see how like angry they were. I'm like,
But I feel like each of you were casted for a reason, and I feel like Ashley was casted to be the pretty one. You were casted to be the tomboy.
exactly.
Lauren was casted to, give the country element. Like I think each of you were casted for a different reason. I think across the board, season 6 had the best cast ever.
I agree. I do. I really from the authenticity of each of the people and their characters on the show, if you will, respectively, to who they have become, to work ethic. I mean, I really think our cast just did well in life, you know, and they all have really good hearts. There was nobody on our show. Maybe their version of like what love isn't, you know, shown us the same way, but everybody wasn't a hateful person. There was nobody,
Right.
like, even the ones that went home, there was no hate. It was just like, oh, well, they're gone. Yeah, back to breakfast, you know?
Right.
Um, but there's some season I've seen that just some nasty, and that's just people in general, just haters, like straight up, you hate yourself so much that you spew that hate into the world. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So did you feel a type of way about Ashley going home from the fight? Have you spoken to Ashley since the show?
I actually hung out with Ashley because we were in Colorado around the same time because she had moved here for a short period of time, right after the show, and so I had hung out with her at her house down south.
So you're
And
in Colorado right now.
I am in Colorado right now,
What
and
part, if you don't mind me asking? I love Denver. That is like, I love Denver. I've been like 5 times. It's one of my favorite places to
yeah,
visit.
it's just a vibe. It's like a mini Boston. I love Boston. It's just sunny. It's like I was gonna go inside and take this call, and I'm like, no, it's sunny. You can see the clouds literally in the reflection. Like,
This
it's
summer, I'm trying to go to Vail and Aspen.
oh, it's great. I actually am switching my ski pass from the Icon Pass to the Epic Pass this year,
Oh, wow.
so I can get Vail on my pass, get 10 days at Vail. I try to snowboard as much as I can in the winter. Snowboard and ski. I love skiing. I love snowboarding. So yeah, that's one of the big reasons why I'm here. Like I'm such a mountain person more than a beach person. And I lived in Miami Beach for 5 years. I went to the beach 3 times.
I love Miami too, but I love Denver
I like
more.
Miami pre-COVID. Post-COVID is a joke.
Yeah. Um, so Ashley leaves and Wilma arrives. What was your thought of Wilma? Like, I mean, this is another Jersey girl. Did
knew
y'all
she was going to
vibe? Did
I
y'all?
knew she was going to be raw and real and just rugged. Like didn't give a shit what anybody thought. I knew that she was going to be the closest to the tomboy-esque that I was potentially looking for as far as like a companion in the house. I knew it wouldn't be hard or difficult to speak to her. And I know that for sure because we both laugh at the same shit. Like even today we send each other memes all the time and they're hilarious and it's just the same humor. And so like I knew.
Yeah. Um, so the night Wilma arrives, we see Wilma versus Jen. What were your thoughts in that moment? Did you think, wow, she's arrived? Did you think, let me grab her and put her on our side? What were your thoughts? Because
I was
things
just excited.
turned up.
I was just excited. I was just like, this is good. I'm like, because in my head it was like, ooh, replacement versus replacement. Like I was like, have you seen the movie Game Night?
Yes,
Okay, so you know when they have like the Fight Club in the house, like
yes.
that's why I'm like, yeah, like that.
Right. So, I mean, were like, what were the vibes of Wilma? Because it seems like she intimidated a few people in the house.
It was a strong
Which
personality. Like from where Wilma is from in New Jersey, they don't fuck around. Like
right,
you are not, you're gonna get your ass beat. Okay, like that's just how it is, and you, I respect that. Truly, like we're good. Clearly, I never got into a fight in my life before this with the lamps and shit. I'm like, oh, open palm, slap somebody. Let me just wait. Like, who does that, right?
right,
Uh, but I knew it was gonna be. At that point, I was like, shit, okay, we're doing this because at that point we were all tired of fighting. So like when she came in and wanted to fight, we're like, here we go. Like, get in the trenches again. Like we just weren't there. So I knew that that energy was put into the house for that reason because I'm sure there were other replacements lined up and they were probably far more boring than Wilmery was.
right. So we get to you guys. Wilma joins you and Lauren, and it's at this point it's you three versus the other side of the house, which is Jennifer, Jessica, Kori, and Shar. You three decide to throw out Jen. Talk a little bit about that, and do you regret it?
No, same thing. You know,
I love you, Nikki.
I mean, I probably should have hesitated a little bit, honestly. Shit. um,
It's been like 12 years and you don't know regrets.
I don't. Come on.
It's bad girls, hey.
Listen, like when you words are spells, right? When you say something, you speak it into existence. If you utter the words, I want to go home, then go the fuck home. I don't care. You said it, it's over. You have the ability, you have the self control to say what you want to say and not say what you want to say. That's it. So if you vocalize something that you want to go home, you've clearly thought about it for more than just a second. You've been thinking about this for days, weeks, whatever it is, for you to put it into words and say it. You don't just wake up one day and go, oh, yeah, like I'm a competitive bodybuilder. You've been thinking about it for a hot minute and then you work into it and you go to the gym and you spilled your whatever. So same thing with this. And again, it was the same vibe as Jade. Said like she was like, oh, go home. Then go. Same side as Sydney. Go home. Jen, same thing. Go home. Nobody's keeping you here. So I'll help you.
Were you guys surprised that Shar, Corey, and Jessica didn't have her back or didn't help her during that situation?
Nah, for two
Yeah,
reasons. One, at that time, I'm not saying now, at that time, Char did not care about anybody but herself. Let's be real. Number one. Number two, she was a replacement. So therefore the loyalty was not there from Char, from Jessica, from Corey. Number three, in theory, it made Char look a little bit weaker. So therefore she's gonna hate her.
yeah,
Your minion couldn't hang, bro. What? Like, take it up with
yeah.
her.
Yeah, y'all that was probably like one of the easiest toss outs I've ever seen on BGC. Did you expect to have to get your hands dirty or y'all might have to fight?
I was like, fuck, I gotta work. Okay. here we go. Then we had a long ass driveway, so I was like, come on, it was so much.
Y'all was grabbing that stuff and getting her out like y'all was some movers. I was like, wow. It was quick too. I was like, wow.
I'm like, I wish I could hire myself for my own move that I have to do, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, it was crazy. Um, so now let's talk a little bit about when it's 3 versus 3 in the house. It was you, Wilma, and Lauren, and then it was Shar, Jessica, and Kori. We see the last fight between Lauren and Jessica, and you got to punch in on Jessica. Did you regret that? Did you?
Yeah, because here's the thing, like it wasn't. I didn't realize that she had been like. It really happened so fast, and I think it was even slowed into to black and white. I
Mhm.
think at one point to indicate that it was in slow motion. Um, I didn't. It happened so quickly that I wasn't trying to sucker punch her or unintentionally hit her when she was being restrained. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that way at all. So I definitely say if there was one thing I wouldn't have done, for sure, it would be that. You know, I would. That wasn't my intention. I was just like, fuck this bitch. Like, who are you? Like,
And
and
it
what's
seemed like you
going
just had Lauren back in that situation.
yeah, and
Like
like
she was pummeling on Lauren, and you stood up for
yeah,
your friend.
and exactly. I'm not gonna stand there and watch my friend get into a physical altercation with somebody who I couldn't do that, and that it was like a motherly instinct reaction versus a I've been waiting to fuck her up. No, that wasn't my intention. Like it just happened. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, she doesn't have social media, so she probably won't see this, but I'm sorry.
yeah. Um, and I'm happy to hear you say that because I did love you and Jessica's friendship. I
Yeah,
wish we could have saw more of that on the show, but I understand it. You know, you're gonna sit with who you connect with, and
like a
it
bad
did seem like you and Jessica had a connection, but it just seemed like you and Lauren had a deeper connection.
it definitely was that way. Um, it would be so cool. I sometimes think about this. I'm like, imagine if they did like a reunion of just our season, like in the house for like a whole season again. What would it be like? But with the replacements, with everybody in the same time.
What do you think would happen?
Oh man.
Would you apologize to anybody about anything?
No, not one,
No.
not one bit. There,
Nothing.
if 12 years later and our friendships haven't been a thing and our friendships haven't come to life or our differences or whatever haven't been respect, then that it's not coming back to life. You know, I
Yeah,
wouldn't do some fake shit like, oh my God, Sydney, we should be best friends. Like, I would still not talk to you in the house. You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's just,
It is
but
what it is.
it'd be funny to see. It'd be cool. I think it would be more Real Housewives esque rather than like Bad Girls Club esque. I think it would be more like nonsensical drama.
Yeah, because if you 35 now, then sure, I gotta be 40 plus.
I think she 27, 22. So yeah, five. Yeah, so she'll be 40 this year maybe
Okay.
or is already 40. But yeah. Again, I feel like anything over truthfully 25, even 30, let's call it, like age is kind of blended. You know, anything 20 to 25 is so different. So
Mhm.
um but yeah, anything 20 to 40 is a complete difference too.
But that's why I love y'all season. Y'all were all so young. You could tell that the experience was just real for all of you. And I just love y'all season. I love the cast. I love y'all season so much. Let's talk about you, Nikki, and Lauren going out. No, yeah, yeah. Well, you are Nikki.
Yeah.
You, Wilma, and Lauren going out, and the turn with Wilma.
I
What
don't even
caused that turn?
I don't even know. That's the thing. I don't even remember. I don't know what it was. I don't know if she had an opinion about something where I was like, why are you saying that? I think it might have been because the only real way I get like weird with people is if you say one thing and you do another, or your actions don't match your words. And I feel like it had to do with something with Shar or like something like that. Um,
But I
because
feel
that
like I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel like y'all all would do that though. I feel like y'all all would say, "Oh, I don't like her," but then we'll see a scene of you and that person talking, and it's like, okay, we can't hold that to them because it's like the tension had just been rising and rising and rising. Like, who was going to approach the person to have the conversation? So I wouldn't get mad when I would see y'all talking to y'all enemies, but it seemed like that was a constant thing of like, Shar being mad at Kori talking to y'all, and or
yeah,
Lauren being mad at you for talking to Jessica, or like it would be like a constant bad game of telephone. It seemed like.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly just age 21. I think it really is like, you're my best friend. Oh, but now you're talking like I talk to people that I don't like because again, giving somebody the cold shoulder or having to ignore them or mute them or block them on social media gives them energy. So in
Yeah.
my world, it's more of if you're not doing something directly to hurt me or affect my two friends, then I can have a conversation with you. It doesn't hold any weight. But I also had those conversations with them because we knew I knew that it would piss Char off. Because if I got a reaction out of the minions, Char would be like, "What the fuck? I can't control them," and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not hated, am I?"
Right. Well, I mean, you guys definitely did that several times. We saw Wilma flip from the fallout. Wilma kind of joined the other ladies on the other side. But we did see Lauren and Wilma even have a friendship. Do you regret what happened with Wilma in the turn that became the four of them versus the two of y'all, or you don't regret those things?
Um,
Because it seemed like y'all three had a real friendship. You, Wilma,
no,
and Lauren.
I wouldn't say that I regret it because again, regretting it means that I would alter or I it's unfortunate that things went down the way that they did. Um, what I could say is I would have loved to have seen where the end of the season would have gone had we been still friends. That alternate ending would have been cool. But I'm not. I think it was. I think at the time my ego was so big that I wanted to be like the only girl from Jersey and be the last one standing, and all these things. And I mean, I could check those off my boxes, but are they important to me in like 2023? No, don't give a shit.
So you have processed what would have been if it would have been the three of y'all versus the three of them in the end.
So,
You've thought about that.
oh, totally. And I mean, I knew when the day I moved out of the house that what the reunion was going to be like. I knew I was going to have very little to say. I knew there was going to be very nothing to do with me, really. I knew the reunion was like a Maury Povich show where it was like Shar having to be confronted by the people that she wronged, and all of them would go home and watch and be like, "Oh my God, I was made to look this way." I knew that was coming. So I was chilling after my season.
You really owned your stuff in the house, so you really had nothing to talk about at the reunion because you did all your dirt in the house.
And if that's what that's what you do, there's no reason for eight. If you're sorry about something or you want to apologize for something, it shouldn't take you 8 months to figure it out. You should feel sorry in that moment. It's not after you see it on TV and then go back and go, "Oh, I should probably apologize," like all these PR stunts that people do today. You
Yeah,
should you should be authentic. If you felt sorry about it, say you're sorry. If you're upset about the delivery, say, "Hey, I'm sorry about the delivery. My message was supposed to be this way. I'm wrong." You can do that. And that's why, again, I didn't leave the house or leave the reunion rather with a shit ton of enemies.
yeah. Yep, I love you, Nikki. I feel like you owned your stuff in the house, and I just really hate how things went up and down with y'all side. I wish things y'all could have had something solidified because I don't think we would have ever. Although I was always hoping for like Kori or Jessica to turn on Shar, I know we wouldn't have never seen that. So I hated Wilma flipping on y'all, but I understood it. I felt like you really wasn't trying to let your guard down and let Wilma in like that. I think y'all saw Wilma more so as like the muscle that could just get some people over there out.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the same reason with the apprehension that I had with Ashley. It was like I knew it, it wasn't going to go anywhere because Wilma was definitely stronger than Ashley from a mental space. So I knew that having conversation with Wilma and just being direct with her, here's how the house is, here's who's on whose side, here's the reasons why, you can go figure it out. She would. Ashley would have been too swayed to want to be on the side that was cooler or the side that like had more numbers, and that's what you do in a situation as as a replacement, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really wish y'all could have gotten Wilma head about Shar to get Shar out because that's who needed to go. Like, if you would have got Shar out, it would have been everything. Because Shar wasn't no fighter. She really wasn't that bad. She just was a like Julie type of bad girl, like a master manipulator, puppeteer, puller the strings. But all that mouth and no hands, and then you from Chicago. You get what I'm
I
saying?
know, like
I'm like, I want to see you thump, but
I was like Jessica's from Chicago.
Jessica was from Chicago, but Jessica, they was like night and day. And I think that's why they never turned on each other because of the whole Chicago bun.
For sure.
Um, so let's talk about Mexico a little bit and your fallout with Lauren. Was the fallout because you and Shar made amends? What was the fallout? Because Lauren kept saying you talked about it behind her back. Did you talk about Lauren behind her back? Just
No,
tell me a little bit about that.
I didn't say straight behind Lauren's back, like, and she knows that. I think in the moment she was listening to other people. Um, it wasn't, that wasn't the case. I really, I just think it was time. Like we had been every day together, every minute of the day. We shared a room together. You could start to get like irritated with one another. It was like a college roommate to a degree. Did I think it was serious and that we wouldn't be friends after? No. Did I know that we were at the end of the show and end of, yada yada? Yes. But also in Mexico, like I ran into a group of friends that I knew, and so like I wasn't trapped because I had friends, and it was like, oh, I'm going to dance.
Yeah.
So at that point, they were just like, let Nikki be Nikki, like me waving like Forrest Gump on a boat, literally.
So how long was the Mexico trip before the end of the experience? Like, what would you say that time frame was from Mexico to you
two
guys
weeks,
wrapping up taping?
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
maybe.
And so you and Wilma fought the first time in the limo coming back from Mexico, right?
Dead.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Um, you slapped Wilma, and that's what started the fight, right?
Yes. Yes. You
Did
know,
you think potentially you could go home? What were the fighting rules? Because it seemed like Jessica
so
didn't have none.
I knew if you close palm to hit somebody, you would go home. But there was no rule on open palm. So that's why I opted for a slap. Okay. That's why I went for the slap. But what I wasn't prepared for, my fighting school, aka I didn't have any training in fighting whatsoever, is that when you hit somebody, you either A, run, B, get ready for the next thing that's gonna happen, or C, keep hitting the person. And I didn't do any of that. I just got my ass beat by a lamp and Wilma. Like, let's be real. So it's just kind of, and also I was really, really drunk. Like we drank so much that night. Like we were so, so drunk. Like we had to pull over on the side of the road. I remember this. It's the only thing I remember is getting pulled out of the limo by production because I wouldn't stop fucking with her. And it was just like this gnat that was like so annoying. And then I got to stay in a hotel that first night.
Nikki, I hated you and Wilma fighting. I'm like, why? Why can't this be Shar? Why can't this be Jessica? Why can't this be Kori? Why
That's
are
very
my two
childish,
queens
man.
fighting each other? It was so annoying. It was so annoying. I'm like, they have bigger fish to fry.
No, literally, literally.
So round two in the room with the lamp. You from any of these fights, did you ever have a nod? Anything? No. It was just like some love taps.
Oh
Because
God, no.
I
Yeah,
think the editing made it more intense than what it was.
yeah, no. It wasn't like no, we were okay. Like
Yeah.
there was no like weaponry. The lamp was the degree of it. Like that was it.
Did you want her gone after hitting you with the lamp?
I don't know.
Did you ever say to production like if we fight again? Because it seemed like by the third fight where when she was topless and you went and you was like provoking her before that fight and then she kind of just like raged out on you and y'all fought that last time. It seemed like you knew, okay, if we fight this last time, she's going home.
It wasn't that I knew that if we fight this last time, it's I knew if she punched me. And that's what I was trying to get her to do was to punch me. That's why we fought 3 different times because she didn't punch me the first time or the second time. So again, open palm versus closed palm. If you have a closed palm, that's it. So I knew if round 3 was going to happen, she was not going to be able to contain herself, and that's why I did it.
Wow. So round three, you did it to get Wilma out.
Yes.
Oh, Nikki.
At that point, I was
You should have been hitting Shaw with a pillow and all that to get
like,
Shaw
at that point,
out.
she was. I just wanted to end the season with like our
A
regular,
bang.
like our OG group, and
Yeah.
that was that. At that point, it was like you don't deserve to be here anymore. Like that was what I was thinking about.
So how long was Wilma's exit before the end of the experience? You say like the last week, maybe last 10
About a week.
days? Okay, a week. And so let's just wrap it up. So Wilma leaves, then it's the five of you all in the house. Jessica exits first. Why did Jessica leave? It seemed like a day or two earlier than the rest of you. If her and Shaw were both from Chicago.
I think the order in which we left was the order of like the weekest to
Draw
the
more to the
strongest.
show. I feel like that too, but it seemed like Jessica left a day or two before the last day.
Yeah, but I think if that were the case, what did she did? She left like the morning of the I think we left over 2 days, if I remember correctly. But I think only because she probably had more exit interviews or they wanted to ask more questions. I think it just had to do with that more than anything.
Okay. But in your head, when Jessica left, y'all never thought it's just us with Kori and Shar. Now we can take them. Like that never crossed y'all head to go 2-on-2 in the end and get one of them out, or once
No,
Kori left and it was just y'all with Shar to put Shar out. Y'all never thought that.
no, we were ready to go home, man. Like we just wanted to like to go home. We want to go to the bathroom without having a camera attached to it. Like we just wanted to go home.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. It seemed like y'all were all over it by that point. So let's talk a little bit about the reunion, and then we're gonna talk about where you are presently and just wrap up. Um, so for the reunion, we saw everybody versus Shar. You were sitting with Shar. You knew you had nothing to worry about at the reunion.
No, I wasn't. I truly went in there like kind of bored almost because I just knew it was gonna be like, oh my God, now you guys found out. So here we have to listen and talk about it.
Yeah,
How do you feel about it? Should have thought about this 6 months ago. Like it was just kind of like, meh.
yeah. I was so mad because I'm like, where was all this energy in the house? I needed all them to see these actions in the house and be
That's
mad
my
at Shar
point.
like this in the house.
That was my point. It's like you all went home and got muscles and then came back and were like, I'm mad now. Oh, you should have been mad when I was telling you this is happening.
Beer
And I
muscles.
and I knew they didn't believe me, like in the beginning. I was like, dude, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. No, you're a bitch. Okay. I'm a bitch that was right.
Yeah. So that's why you was in your dress. You said Q, you knew you wasn't gonna have to fight, right?
No.
And then you had reached out to Wilma and you had also reached out to Jennifer, right?
I don't know if I had at that point.
I think you and Jennifer at the reunion said that y'all had talked and y'all were
Okay. So then we had for sure.
yeah,
Um yeah, it was I don't remember. 12. Yeah, it was 12 years.
yeah. I can only imagine. So let's talk a little bit about All-Star Battle. Did you ever watch All-Star Battle?
I did. I was asked to be on it at one point, but I had to have hip surgery, so I said no because ruining a hip surgery for idiots was not my intention. So that was that. They asked me to do love games too. I said no. Um, I also got asked to be on American Ninja Warrior for season 1, but I also, because of my hip surgery, said no. I'm not opposed to doing television again in some capacity, but it wasn't those capacities.
Okay. Um, and so why no one from season 6 was ever on All-Star Battle? Like that bothers my soul. I could see so many of you on All Jessica would have been good, Kori would have been good. Nobody from season 6 did All-Star Battle.
I don't really think they asked. I think that I don't know. I don't, I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff a lot of spinoffs and things that involve nothing to do with, excuse me, season 6. But I also think that they know that, like, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to anybody else, but like, we're not like ratchet. You know what I mean? We're not going to do anything for a quick dollar. Most of us have real jobs. If we're not at a real job, they're a full-time mother. You know, it's like, it has to be worth our time to go and do something. Um, Otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah. And I recently saw you said that you wouldn't do baddies, right?
No, I would not.
Yeah. Baddies. So you have seen it, right?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that I shouldn't even waste my time.
Yeah, Nikki. It's like it's so many steps down from Bad Girls. I just don't know what Natalie is doing with this show, and it's kind of sad to see.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, it's sad to see what Bad Girls was and what she's doing with this. It's like night and day. The two just don't make sense. Um,
I don't need to.
so,
If I want to go on and watch some clown shit, I'll go on TikTok and watch people doing 12-year-old shit. Like, really.
so let's just talk about where you are presently, and then I'm gonna name a few of the girls, and you just give me one word to the first word that comes to your mind about each girl.
So, currently, my husband and I have an Epsom salt product that we've patented and trademarked that is launching really soon. It's called Epsolution. So that took a 7-year process to really kind of just finalize and formulate, and now it's absolutely coming to life, and I'm so excited. I'm a full-time bodybuilding coach for a major bodybuilding team in the IFBB. Because I am a professional bodybuilder. I got my pro card in 2020. So I am an IFBB Wellness Pro, which is always fun. What else am I doing in my life? I have about 82 clients at the moment. Um, just busy, busy. Like summertime, so it's festival season. I'm super big into EDM, very specific kind, not just all EDM, let's be real. Yeah, that's it. Live in Colorado, I snowboard, I ski. Uh, yeah.
Nikki, thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank
joining
you.
me today. I enjoyed you talking about BGC 6.
Thank you.
Um, so before we end, I'm gonna just throw out a few girls and you just tell me the first thing that comes to.
Okay.
So Kori.
Poise.
Poise. Okay. What about Shar?
Fierce.
Jessica.
Stealthy.
Lauren.
Oh, country bumpkin, but that's 2 words. So give me a minute. I love Lauren. There's so many words. I'm trying to give the perfect word.
I love Lauren too. Lauren, thank you for following me on Twitter. Lauren has followed me on Twitter since y'all season.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Hold on. Lauren, let's go classy.
Okay.
Or
And
Spitfire. Spitfire. I like Spitfire
yes,
for Lauren.
that was her name, the Southern Spitfire, her nickname. And Wilma.
Wilma. Ferocious.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki. Can you follow me on Instagram?
Yeah, sorry I don't. I'm really bad at social media because I have so much going on right now. It's kind of sad to say. Give me a minute.
Okay.
What is your handle?
I am, and then a one for a L, but it's a one for the L for legendary. So I am legendary, but one for the L.
Boom, follow back.
I follow you already.
And I follow your show as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
Perfect. Done and done.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Woo!
Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for talking to me today. Everything BGC 6. This is the show Legendary Rants. I'm your host. I am Legendary. And we just talked to Nikki from BGC 6. She talked everything BGC 6. Friendships, beats, fights, laughs, cries, all the above. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you for having me. Have such a great weekend.
You too. Enjoy that Colorado weather. I wish I could
I
be there with you. Have
am.
a good one.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Well, y'all, I just wrapped up another interview with the Nikki, the prankster from BGC 6. If you haven't already, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. So many things in store. Stay tuned.